first series is over, and the second game, Gyrocopter definitely looked good, looked better than the Anti-Mage, let's put it that way. Still not enough to take out the Ember Spirit, though he just overtook the game at some point.
I think they were lacking a late game solution there. Like their early mid game went so much better, global silences were good, but their ability to gank their opponent's cores was much less than their opponent's ability to gank their cores. Like, I feel like they had good team fight, but to kill an Ember Spirit, they just didn't have the right heroes for that. They would have had to burn an Echo Slam every time they got a hero pick because they just didn't have enough hard lockdown to kill him. And then there's still two other heroes that are dangerous on the enemy team that could potentially get solo kills. Mag was just a beast all game, kept getting solo kills on supports, on cores, pressured lanes, farmed up continuously. And he wasn't the only one. It was him and Sven and Beastmaster. All three of those heroes could just simply buy BKBs and they would have been fine against the enemy team.
I think a lot of this, like the Ember Spirit, of course, is like a huge part of their thing. They just own with that hero. Like, no one's a beast on the thing. And then see me the Slayer on his Dazzle, though. Like, every game he just plays so well. Like, he times his grave so perfectly for the last second. You know,
unless he kills his teammate.
Yeah, didn't hear solo though.
Saw that. But maybe solo didn't deserve it.
He was like, heal me, expletive.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll heal you.
He's like, please, motherfucker.
So this is a fairly interesting suggestion for the Tusk. DJ for Fnatic, when he plays offlane Tusk, he likes to blink into Deso, kind of a very kind of bursty damage. And obviously, I understand the value of a mech for the team when it comes to kind of these team fight centric lineups. But you think a Deso on the Tusk would have gave them that burst? Because
I like that.
Not only did they really lack lockdown, like you could echo the Ember, but you weren't killing him during the stun duration. But when you give them that punch with the Deso, that's kind of damage and lockdown.
And it gives you snowball potential. So that's basically what Mag had with the Necro 3. He gets Necro 3, roars a guy, and he kills him. Boom. Makes map control.
Yep.
If you allow Tusk to snowball
literally
into the late game by having a Deso, which can allow you to solo kill heroes, then all of a sudden you have another core that puts pressure on the map. Yeah. And then they have to worry about maybe Tusk being somewhere, rather than just there being three heroes there.
And at the start of the game, you had an aggressive trial, of course. Should there be maybe a trying for a lane switch for Empire? I mean, they struggled against that aggressive tri lane, but not specifically that. At some point, they were still trading, but they were still trading fairly evenly. At the same time, Mag had all the freedom in the world to just farm top lane and do whatever he wishes. Should there have been some form of rotation, maybe going for dual lanes of some sort? Like, is there something that Empire could have done better during the laning stage?
I think their trialing was so pressured by the offensive trialing of Team Vega that sure they would like to shut down the Beastmaster, but I think
could they have swapped
it
around?
wasn't really an option.
Could they have like lane swap, put the Tusk safe lane by himself?
Yeah, I think that might have worked out better for them, right?
It would have been an okay thing to do, I guess. But the problem is, then they just swap. Like Ember Spirit is just a mobile hero in general. Like it's very easy for him to rotate from middle, just put a remnant down in mid lane, and then get a kill in the safe lane and go straight back to farming mid. So
good point.
It's very difficult to play against it, to be honest.
If he does that, then he can't use his remnant offensively.
Yeah, but when you combo up with Alina and stuff like that, we saw in the last game as well. You don't really need to early game. Once Solo's in a decent position for the Light Strike array.
I mean, I felt like their trialing went all right. They traded a lot of kills. Maybe he didn't get. I mean, Jaro was the highest net worth at the end of the game. Yeah. That was pretty good. But Jaro doesn't transition as well late. I feel like maybe they just needed better ganking supports. They needed more. I feel like the individual pickoff was so important because their team fight was better, but all Vega had to do is take a better fight, and they win the game. And
it's very easy to take a better fight when you have like Hawk Vision as well. You can just kind of plan out your team fights really easily and calculate.
Vision game.
Exactly, calculate who to go on. That kind of thing.
So again, quite a lot of fights because these CAS teams do like their fighting, and Lumi has selected one for the Luminous analysis.
It's like we planned it, because I did have a fighting replay. So let's go into the replay analysis. That's good, Shiver.
At one point, would you not have a fighting replay, though?
I mean, I'd be like, look, Sven's farming really well here. Right? I can do something like that. All right, so this is where Vega have Aegis on no one. And no one's going to just go in kind of balls deep and then just create a ton of space.
Like, even his positioning is so aggressive.
what really did it for me this replay is how I missed TA, right? Okay, Global comes out, he immediately dispels it, and he's gonna go deep into the tier 4. If they had a Deso TA, they would just get a Rax and essentially win the game here. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So here comes no one. He has Aegis. He understands he has Grave as well. So he's gonna just tank as much damage on the front line as possible, and he's not even caring about dying.
The trust in that Dazzle
Yeah,
is so gigantic.
He even healed before Grave,
Yeah.
just because he understood the amount of damage the
But
enemies
here's
can
the thing, can I pause the replay right here? Like, somebody needs to go objective gaming right now. I know, like, it's good to get the tower. I think Mag, perhaps, is probably the most equipped hero in doing so.
Yeah.
Because the supports are going to help out here, which is fine.
Yeah.
This is why I miss a TA. Like, TA would have got Rax and they would have won the game.
What about that dead Sven? Maybe he should have done
the
it.
Death Sven would have done it too if he had. Yeah, so we
But
could
was
keep-
this pre-BKB on Sven?
I don't
No,
even...
he had BKB here
Did he?
already.
Okay, he didn't use it
didn't.
when he died. He must have used it in a previous engagement.
Yeah, all of these fights last so long. So now the team decides to retreat, and then they kind of hang on for a little bit too long.
Yeah, no one is.
Yeah,
This time,
they kind of back
this time
and
the
forth a bit.
Dazzle's too far away.
So this now develops into that 2-minute chase with Alina, which we don't really need to watch because I think we do have an interview coming up next. But for me, this game is. If Empire had a stronger mid game, at least in terms of the item choice, they could have just won the game there. But
What other items could they have gotten?
well, obviously, I don't think you go Deso on Sven, but maybe activating the BKB if he had it. I'm not sure whether he did, but I mean, they still to me won the fight.
What, you think Sven should have gone different items?
No. I think all of the items fine. Although I think the drums was quite interesting. I thought from Sven. I thought it would have been the more standard MOM into Blink into
Well, I don't
BKB.
think they were worried about the late game in this game. I think they were just trying to like battle through the mid game, and it gives them the chase with the Ember Spear.
The drums really allow your supports to catch up.
And they
It's,
got attack speed buffed, so you could argue that it's more towards what MOM gives you, which is huge attack
Yeah.
speed and movement speed.
Yeah.
without
So-
the drawback.
and it still gives you all the stats and makes up for your bad int.
Yeah, I'm not selecting that replay and saying that Sven item choice is bad. I'm just
Yeah.
I was like I missed
That's
TA.
something to talk about.
It's interesting.
So for Vega, you think they played the better game, they're the better team, but they should have won earlier. Like if you would give them pointers, that would be it.
Give Vega pointers, boys.
Give Vega pointers, boys.
I'm trash compared to Vega.
Yeah.
No, give Vega points. I want to give Empire pointers. I want to talk about their draft. I feel like
Yeah.
that's the interesting one. Like the Silencer helped them win fights, but they needed something that could get solo kills, and Quap couldn't do that this game. The only hero she could kill is Ember if she gets a huge Orchid advantage, or Lina or Dazzle. It's those three, and I feel like she didn't create that space this game. And if she's the only one that can do it, it's not going to be Gyro.
No.
It maybe is going to be Earthshaker +1, but it's definitely not Silencer. Silencer is not a hero that you ever are like going to roam around the map and gank with, I feel.
That's true, yeah.
Because you get most of your advantages by ulting. So I just feel like the hero composition didn't really leverage what they need to do, which was out-gank Vega and out-late game them.
So they had the last pick Gyrocopter, right? What other heroes could they have picked as a core? Like, what would Legion Commander, like, is that a decent one position?
I don't think Gyro's the issue here. I feel like
You know?
they either needed to win really hard early and mid-game and just end the game with their gold advantage,
So Aircheck
or they needed to pick like an SF to have a high ground lineup, or they needed to outgank.
I still
Vega.
gonna go back to the Deso and the Tusk because
Yeah, that's
They
the
needed
solution.
another hero that
kinda-
would be more core.
I disagree with the Dazzle and Tusk. I think when you're against a Dazzle, you're not really going to be able to blow someone up quick enough, and the team fight's going to drag on. So the thing you need in a drawn-out team fight is a mechanism to keep everyone up.
I think that's a fair point, but at a certain point, the Deso for the plus damage is nice, but it's something that Kevin touched on, which is the threat of the gank. Because, for example, we saw a lot of times Queen of Pain just got really afraid on the mid lane. Like, Beastmaster came in a whole bunch of times, and they didn't get the kill on Quap most of the time, but that's fine. She had to go back, and she's constantly a little bit more wary of ganks. If there's a Tusk with Blink and Deso, and I'm playing a support Dazzle, like, I could just get one-shotted.
Easily.
I'm kind of scared. So maybe my positioning is somewhat affected. I'm going to stay a little bit further back where my Grave is not as on point.
And Ember as well. He's got low armor. Deso's going to counter that slightly. Like, Grave is amazing, but only if you can react in time. And if that armor can change it, then...
But because you kind of still need the mechanism. So then you would
do
need your
for team
4 to build a
fights.
mechanism, which is the Earthshaker, which is not really going to happen. So would they have picked something else instead of the Earthshaker? Should they have picked
Mech
something
is
else?
good, but it doesn't win. You don't always need it. Like, yeah, if all of your heroes take 250 damage and you heal that up, yeah, it's going to change things. But what if What if your mech carrier only heals one guy? What if somebody's out of position?
Which was the
first
case
hit?
a lot of time because they had like Roar and Stormhammer to start the fight.
Then
and
mech then mech's an awful item in my opinion. Then you're better off getting a Glimmer Cape by far. If it's one person getting focus, you get a Glimmer. If everybody's taking damage from Zeus ult or a Ravage, then mech is fantastic.
What do you guys think about rushing Lotus Orb on Tusk in this game against like the Roar, the Laguna Blade? That kind of stuff.
4,000 gold item. There's no way you can rush that. It's like
also a 4,000 gold reactive item. Like
yeah.
the problem is they have enough reactionary stuff. They had Fissure, they had Blink Echo, and the Global. That should be enough.
Yeah.
They just had no way to go offensively. I thought that was the best game to rush your Deso because they had a 1v1 for like 6-7 minutes. Like you get a ton of farm.
Yeah,
so I guess
a really good point.
I mean it's just a kind of us couch theory crafting. But let's talk to the real pros.
Let's talk to the real pros. That's indeed what we're going to do because we have a chance to talk to Mag from Vega in the winner's interview. Hello, Mag.
Oh,
hello. Hi. How are you doing today?
Actually, we got a problem because I can hear you well at the moment. I don't know why.
You cannot hear me? You cannot hear me? Hello?
Mag.
Mag.
He's typing in this.
He's typing. I can hear Mag.
Right,
can you try to fix it?
Yes. I'm sure production can try to fix it. I can hear you, though. I can hear you perfectly fine.
Yeah, but I'm hearing very quietly. I don't know.
Okay, you hear us very quietly.
Okay, let's just wait, maybe, until they fix this.
They are working on it right now. I will try to speak up. Can you hear me better now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
okay, we just need a shout.
We just need a shout.
Now it's good.
Okay, now it's good. Congratulations on your series, Mac. That was quite a performance.
Thank you.
And also, of course, I mean, maybe a little bit late, but congratulations on your invite to the Frankfurt Major. Well played, well played. I actually have a question about your Ember. You seem to be quite undefeatable with your Ember play. And I'm really curious, why do you think teams don't ban it out against you?
It's not about my Ember.
No. I mean your
Pasha
team.
Ember.
Yeah, Pasha
I know what you
Ember.
mean.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. They should ban other heroes like Doom, Wisp, Brute, like a lot of heroes in this meta, and then we just got Ember. I don't know.
That's quite lucky. It's been doing really well for you guys.
So, Mag, I got a question for you. You've kind of done quite well in a lot of tournaments in the past. Like, you've played for ages. And recently you just won ESL New York. How different was winning that, like, for you and your family and that kind of stuff compared to the other tournaments?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can they make a bit loud again? I'm sorry.
You gotta talk real loud.
Okay, I'll talk louder. How different was winning ESL New York compared to other tournaments? You know, like, how did you and your family react and your friends?
For me, it was huge because, I was playing for ages, as you said, and it was a big, first big tournament, like first time, first place at such a big tournament with top teams. And for us, it was really huge that we stay with same roster after TI and continue playing and practice, and we show to ourselves that we can beat any team. I know.
That's awesome.
All right, I have a question. About once per game, you guys dive a little bit too far under a tier 1 tower. And I was wondering what you guys say to each other in moments like that, where you're winning a game, you're diving, and then it goes a little bad. What do you guys usually say?
We need to group up and stop doing things like that. I don't know. Because, we was playing a bit sloppy. Like, we just, we was winning, but then we just draw a bit. And then we just was waiting for the next Roshan, group up after some feet, and, just finish the game.
Do you guys get frustrated with each other, or do you just laugh about it, or?
Yeah, just laugh about it. Yeah, it's normal.
All right, Max. So you're known for a lot of heroes in the past. There's the Max Centaur in that one Star Ladder where you play nothing but Centaur. You have the Beastmaster, that's really good, and now you're more known for that the Brewmother that you start picking up off lane. I gotta ask, because on the Reddit thread that it said you got coaching from the best Brewmother player on Dota Buff. How did that came about for you guys, and was it sort of like a humbling experience for a long-time professional learning from now like essentially a pub?
Yeah, for me, it was the first time I asked someone to teach me something in Dota, because when I wanted to play on Brute, I understood that it will take some time. And I just heard from Phobos at TI that some guy taught him, and I found that guy and asked him to help me as well. And I know it was a pretty interesting experience for me, and yes, this guy is really helped to be better on this hero.
What's his name?
Elkayan, he's from Russia.
Oh, cool.
And he's a very good guy.
Cool.
Cool indeed. So you're going to be going to the Frankfurt Major. I'm curious, for your team, are you going to be boot camping before that?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
We are planning boot camp like for 10 days or 2 weeks before majors, so it will be very soon, I think.
That will be very soon indeed. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. I'm sure we'll hear from you a lot more in the future, but for now, just have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank you as well. Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
And that was a Mag from Vega Squadron. Now we have one series left, and we can see if Alliance can also 2-0 Empire, or if Empire can get some wins on the board. This was the first series in the ASUS ROG DreamLeague that they couldn't get a win in. They've had ties so far all around, I believe. But we'll find out soon after a break if Alliance can strike back.